Do you want to teach your child how to stop interrupting you? Well, you're not alone. That is a really annoying behavior, but there are ways to very easily and calmly handle the situation. I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I teach parenting, family communication, and relationship building all through the lens of self-government. And in this video today, we're going to be talking about interrupting. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you some key skills that you can use to teach your child what to do instead of just interrupting you, and how to prepare them for when it's okay to interrupt and when it's not. So let's talk about interrupting right now. When you have children who want attention right now and you are in the middle of something else and they come to you and they're like, Mom, or Dad, help me with that, Dad, or you don't care about me. These are all things that can interrupt the flow of life, and they can feel like they are emotionally hijacking a situation that before that was very calm. This can be difficult. There are some key skills that we can teach our children so that they can use those instead of just jumping straight to interruptions. I'm a pretty busy mom. I write books, I run an international organization, I run Teaching Self-Government, which is the parenting company. I also homeschool my children. I speak all over different places. There's a lot of things that happen in my life. So of course, I am going to be busy all the time. Right? There's not a moment that I don't have something to do, which means there's not a moment that I would feel okay being interrupted. Or is there? I had to decide on my own how to allow myself to be okay with interruptions. At the end of this video, I'm going to be sharing some bonus content for you so that you can prepare yourself to be interrupted. But let's switch gears and talk about how to prepare the children to either not interrupt you at all, because it's super important that you don't get interrupted during that time, or how to interrupt you the right way. Years ago, when I started doing foster care, I started teaching my foster children 4 basic skills. I realized these 4 basic skills actually took care of 99% of their behavioral problems. Those 4 basic skills are following instructions, accepting no answers and criticism, accepting consequences, and disagreeing appropriately. I'd like to focus on 2 of those 4 basic skills right now, because in order to teach your child how to not interrupt you or how to interrupt you appropriately, they need 2 of these skills. They need accepting no answers, and they need disagreeing appropriately. So when mom or dad is busy with something, maybe they're on a Zoom call or a phone call or something that maybe has to do with business, those are things that we have a hard time being interrupted in, then the parent can tell the child ahead of time, hey, I'm going to be on this Zoom call. It's going to take probably about an hour or maybe an hour and a half. So I need to not be interrupted during that time. This is a no answer. This means that you need to listen to what I'm saying, keep a calm face, voice, and body about it, and then say, okay. Or you can disagree appropriately with me if you need to, but then drop the subject, meaning don't think about interrupting me during this time at all. So you pre-teach them ahead of time how long something is going to take. That decreases the anxiety. This is good for them. If they get their anxiety level lowered because they know about what time you'll be done, this helps them make it through. But then also if they know I can accept a no answer, drop the subject, right? They need to be able to drop that subject and know how to tell themselves to do that. And then hopefully they can hold off that craving to interrupt you when they just want to know if they can have some more macaroni and cheese or an apple or something like that that they might need. So what do you do if they do need to talk to you? So there was a rule that I had. My children definitely could interrupt me, but I wanted them to know how to do it. So I taught my children that they could come to me and they could rest their arm on my arm and they could say, "Excuse me, Mom." And that if they came to me in that way to talk to me or to interrupt me, that I would always stop what I was doing and I would look at them and I would say, "Oh, it looks like you need to talk to me. I am happy to talk to you." it's probably going to be a minute or two before we can have this conversation, or what is it that you need? And then I would go back to the other person I was talking to and say, just one moment, I'm going to talk to so-and-so about something. They're being very polite at interrupting me in such a good way right now that I want to definitely listen to what they're telling me. And so then I would go and talk to them. Now I told them, I said, if you're going to interrupt me, make sure that it's important. Okay. And now keeping in mind, for a child, having a snack is important. Okay. Getting a drink of water is important. Going to the bathroom for certain ages of children could be very important. Playtime with a friend is not going to be as important. Okay, so they needed to know what are the levels of importance, and I helped them draw those lines and talk about priorities versus non-priorities and just things we wanted to do. So anyway, that's how I trained them. And then what they would do is they would come, they would put their hand on my arm, and then they would say, "Excuse me, Mom." And I would address them, and they would say, "May I disagree appropriately about something, or may I talk to you about something?" And I would say yes. And this is when they used the skill disagreeing appropriately. Before I tell you the steps to disagreeing appropriately, which are very useful for children, click that subscribe button. There are so many videos on this channel that relate to self-mastery for you and your children. You're not going to want to miss out. Disagreeing appropriately is done like this. You look at the person. You keep a calm face, voice, and body. Then you say that you understand their point of view, which in an interruption case might be, "Mom, I know you're talking to somebody else right now." But then you share your point of view. "But I have something I need to share with you." And then they listen to what you have to say. Then you listen to their decision, you say okay, and drop the subject. So maybe you told the child that they needed to clean their room while you were on the phone with somebody, but they feel like they need to talk to you about that because there's a problem in the room. Then they would come to you, put their hand on your arm, say, "Excuse me, Mom." You would look at them, and then they would say, "Mom, I know you're talking to somebody right now, but I need to talk to you about cleaning my room. You told me to clean the room, but what I've noticed is that there actually is a problem in the room that needs your attention." And they might then explain to you what that is. And hopefully it was one of those important things that they needed to talk to you about if they had to interrupt you. But regardless, a parent needs to be ready in their heart and mind to listen to that disagreement patiently, no matter what it is. That doesn't mean we agree with them every single time. Now I have a bonus for you. How do you prepare to be patient in those circumstances? You know how I talked about you pre-teaching them for success and telling them, "I'm going to be on this Zoom call for 1 hour, or I have 2 phone calls to make to some people at the bank and the doctor's office," whatever it is that you're telling them that you need to do. You're preparing them so they know how long it will take. Well, you need to prepare you too. You've got to plan ahead of time that when they interrupt you, you are going to be okay. You are not going to take it as an attack or that they don't care or that they're trying to make your life hard. All those thoughts, if you catered to those in your head, would just lead to frustration and probably an emotional blow up. Instead, what you need to do is tell yourself, "They're little. I'm their leader. They need me. It's okay if they interrupt me. I'm going to make sure that I take my time to listen to what they have to say, and I am going to trust that whatever I was involved in, I could get right back to no matter what." I'm a praying person, and so sometimes when I've been writing books and I really don't want someone to interrupt my flow, I honestly, when they come and put their hand on my arm, I will close my eyes and say a quick prayer and ask God to help me remember what I was thinking of when I come back. And then I go talk to them. I put first things first. They are first. And if they're being respectful when they need to talk to you, we need to respectfully listen as well. This means sometimes that we have to do a little bit of our own heart work, working on being calm ourselves. I have something I would like to give you that could definitely help with that. It's called the Calm Parenting Toolkit. The Calm Parenting Toolkit has 10 lessons that you can have for free right now if you click the link that is below this video. So in the description below this video, there's a link that says teachselfgov.com/toolkit. If you click on that link right now, then you can have the Calm Parenting Toolkit for free and start on the road to self-mastery for you and your children. Your relationships will never be the same, I promise. Improvement is just around the corner.